Hello, in this video I'm going to show you the basics of the Pro Tools layout. Let's check it out. When you first open Pro Tools, you're confronted by this blank screen and it can be kind of intimidating. I'm going to break it down for you into its individual parts so you can see that there is a logic to it. Let's start with the top. We have the main toolbar. And in the main toolbar, we have your edit modes, which you can access by simply clicking on them. We have zoom tools, the main editing tools, such as the selector, the trim, the grabber, and if I click the little frame around all three of them, the smart tool. We have other tools that we'll go over later. We have the main counter window. Right now, this is set to minutes and seconds. I could also set it to bars and beats if I'm working with music that's set to a click track. Or I could work with time code if I'm working on film. It's very versatile. I'm going to leave it at minutes and seconds for right now. We have the grid values and nudge values here, which we'll go over later. The transport controls, which is what we call the play, stop, record, fast forward, rewind controls. Midi controls that control some aspects of how MIDI operates in Pro Tools. For instance, if you want to count off before you record, there it is, right in your MIDI controls. MIDI wait for note, the metronome click sound, MIDI merge, so you can layer MIDI tracks together. And that's most of the toolbar. Now, if you cannot see some of these items in your toolbar, you may have to go to this arrow with a triangle in it right here and click on that, and you can select which elements of the toolbar to show and hide. Finally, in the toolbar, we have this main meter, which just gives you an overview of the level of your entire session. Now let's bring a track in here to check out the rest of this. I have this random song on my hard drive. It's Hunter Galvin, Far Away With You, and I'm just going to bring it in. It takes Pro Tools a few seconds to import it, and we'll talk about what actually happens when it imports in a later video. But as you can see in the main window here, we now have the audio waveforms. You can see that this is a stereo file with both a left channel and a right channel. It made a new audio track in the default blue color. It also populated this tracks box. So I have one track in my session and I have one track listed in the tracks box. In the clips box on the other side, it shows me that it's a whole file clip, meaning that it's uncut. It's in bold. If I unfold this triangle, it will show me each individual file, the left and the right. And finally, if I make edits in this, it will give me additional clips indicating that I've made edits. So if I click on this one, this clip is that section of the audio, and so on and so forth. If I go to the window menu and press Mix or use the shortcut Command equals, it will take me to the Mix window. Right now it looks pretty bare because there's only one track, but that track's pretty important, so let's look at it. In the Mix window, I have Inserts, which is where you're going to put special effects, plugins like EQ and compression. Sends, for when you want to send the audio to another location. You have your input and output listed. You have pan knobs, so you can move your audio to the left or right. You have a group of buttons right here that we're going to go over more in depth in a later video, but basically they are solo, mute, record arm, which I can't record arm right now because I don't have an active input, and the input monitoring, which you may not have on your version of Pro Tools. I think it only comes on Pro Tools Ultimate. We have the large fader like on an actual real-world mixing board, and we have the name of the track abbreviated there. I'm going to hit Command equals to go back to my edit window and point out one last thing, the groups box down here. If you have groups, mix groups later on, you will learn about those, and that's where those groups will be. So that's the basic layout of Pro Tools. Once you get used to looking at it, it doesn't look so complicated, but when you first start, it can be a little intimidating. As you go through the videos below, you'll learn more and more, and it will soon become second nature to you.